After signing a mountain of paperwork and becoming a proud homeowner, you might be eager to pay off your mortgage early. Owning a home free and clear is terrific, but it may not always be the best use of your money. In this show, you'll learn who should and shouldn't pay off their mortgage ahead of schedule, plus 7 ways to become mortgage-free if it's a smart financial move for you. Hey everyone, my name is Laura Adams, and I want to thank you for tuning in this week. I'm an award-winning personal finance author and have hosted the Money Girl podcast since 2008. I also partner with select brands for PR and marketing work as an on-camera spokesperson, consumer advocate, voiceover talent, and multimedia creator. Here on Money Girl, my mission is to help you get the knowledge and motivation to prioritize your finances, build wealth, and ultimately have more security and less stress. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Every episode I create is like a mini money training designed to help you take your financial life to the next level. The topics I cover might come from a listener's question, what's going on in the financial news, or an interview with a subject matter expert guest. So if you like what you're hearing, be sure to subscribe so you automatically get each weekly episode. And a big thanks if you're already a subscriber and a longtime listener. If you're enjoying the show or you have a personal finance or a small business question, I would love to hear from you. You can leave a message 24/7 at 302-364-0308. And of course, you can also send me an email using my contact page at lauradadams.com. Today's episode is number 738, called 7 Strategies for Paying Off Your Mortgage Early. And I'm going to answer a question from Jatori R., who asked, how does paying an extra $100 a month versus 13 full monthly payments per year affect the term of your mortgage? Jatori, thank you so much for your question. As I mentioned, paying off your mortgage early isn't the right move for everybody. A critical concept to take away from this show is that mortgages are way down on the list when it comes to prioritizing debt. And I know that may seem counterintuitive because a mortgage is an enormous debt. So I'll start by explaining the advantages and disadvantages of paying extra on your home loan. The downsides may surprise you, so be sure to stay with me if you have a mortgage or maybe you want to become a homeowner one day. Then I'll get into the 7 strategies to pay off your mortgage faster if it's right for you. So the primary advantage of paying off a mortgage, or any debt really, ahead of schedule is obviously paying less interest. For example, if you owe $150,000 on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage at 5%, your monthly payment is about $800. Now, if you keep that property for 30 years, you're going to pay $140,000 just in interest. Yes, that almost doubles the actual cost of the property. But let's say you get a $20,000 windfall, woohoo, and you use it to pay down your mortgage in the 4th year of owning the home. You'll pay off the loan in 23 years instead of 30. That cuts your total interest from $140,000 down to $98,000, saving you $42,000. Not bad, right? But the disadvantages of paying off a mortgage early are apparent when you compare it to other options, other things you could be doing with your money. Right now, the going rate for a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is just over 6%. If you've had your mortgage a while, you may have gotten it for much lower than that. So it's important to remember that a mortgage is a relatively inexpensive debt, and it does come with tax benefits if you claim the home mortgage interest deduction, making it cost even less on an after-tax basis. Remember also that once you send money to a mortgage, it's tied up in your property. If you unexpectedly lose your job or you suddenly have a significant expense, you won't be able to get that money back quickly, if at all. Additionally, you may lose the opportunity to invest your extra money for higher returns than your after-tax mortgage interest rate. For instance, Investing in a mutual fund, let's say in a Roth IRA, that pays 8% on average, is way better than paying down a mortgage that only costs you 5% after taxes. While getting rid of any debt is ultimately good for your finances, paying it off in the right order is essential. So that's the trick here, is really understanding how to prioritize your debt. Always consider your mortgage in the context of your entire financial situation. So my first question for Jatori would be, do you have an emergency fund? The second question is, how much are you saving for retirement? If you don't have a healthy emergency fund, you're not investing at least 10% of your gross income for retirement, or you've got high interest debt like credit cards, it's never wise to send extra money to your mortgage. Living mortgage-free may sound good, but the bottom line is that it's not always the best use of your money. You're much better off saving for emergencies, getting rid of expensive debt, and shoring up your retirement before paying off your home ahead of schedule. But let's say Jatori does have emergency savings equal to at least 3 months of living expenses and is investing 10 or even up to 15% for retirement and has no other debt. In that case, chipping away at the mortgage is an excellent financial move. So if that's your situation, you've got all of your financial ducks in a row, so to speak, how do you do it? How do you pay off the mortgage as quickly as possible? Well, the key to paying off a mortgage or any debt early is simple. You send more money that will get applied to the principal balance, so like the outstanding debt that you owe. Note that with a fixed-rate mortgage, a portion of each payment goes toward your principal balance and the interest. And in the early years of a fixed-rate mortgage, the payment amount credited to your principal is very small, and the interest portion is large. But that ratio shifts slowly over time and is eventually reversed. By the end of a fixed-rate mortgage, most of your payment gets credited to the principal, to your debt, and you're paying very little interest. That payment schedule is known as amortization. It happens because as your principal balance decreases, you're killing that principal balance, so does the interest that you have to pay. But your monthly payment is staying the same, so that excess gets subtracted from your principal balance every month, and that helps you build equity in your home over time. If paying off a mortgage early is wise for your situation, there are various strategies you can use. Some are easy on your pocketbook but take more time, while others may be more challenging for your finances but reduce your balance faster. So let's review 7 strategies to pay off your mortgage early. Strategy number 1 is to make bi-weekly payments. Some mortgages do offer an accelerated bi-weekly payment schedule, which is a great strategy. Bi-weekly payments allow you to take advantage of the fact that there are 13 weeks in each quarter, not 12, and 52 weeks in a year, not 48. So you make a whole additional payment yearly by simply paying half of your mortgage payment every other week. So instead of one big monthly payment, you're paying half every other week. And that schedule works exceptionally well if you get paid every other week, so that biweekly loan payment will occur close to your payday. Suppose you have a 30-year mortgage for $160,000 at 6.5% interest. The payment is about $1,000 per month or $12,000 per year. If you keep that payment schedule, you'll pay about $202,000 in interest over the life of the loan. But let's say you make biweekly payments instead. You're going to pay half the monthly payment or $500 every other week. If you stick to that biweekly schedule, you would cut your interest from about $202,000 to $184,000, saving $18,000 over the life of the loan. You'd also pay off the loan in just over 27 years instead of 30. Brilliant, right? Well, the problem is that some lenders may not offer a biweekly payment schedule because they don't want to give up the interest income or even deal with the administrative hassle of keeping track of it. So instead of applying your early payments to your principal balance, they could simply put it in escrow and hold it until they receive your full payment. You do not want that to happen. If that's the case, making biweekly payments will not help you. So, first, check with your lender about the best way to make biweekly payments if you want to use this strategy. If the lender tries to make it really complicated or wants to charge you a fee for doing that, I'm going to recommend that you use another payoff strategy that I'll cover in the show. So, strategy number 2 is to make an extra payment each year. If you can't get a mortgage lender to apply biweekly payments to your principal as you send them, instead, make one payment a year that will get fully applied to your balance. So let's say your monthly mortgage payment is $1,200. Make a goal to save that much by putting $100 per month in a dedicated savings account. At the end of the year, you'll have an extra payment to send to your lender. But make it really clear that you want the entire amount applied to your balance by entering quote, apply to principal, end quote, in either the memo section of a paper check or in your online payment. Or you could make the payment through an online account with your lender where it could be a little easier to indicate that you want the extra payment to only get applied to your principal balance. Strategy number 3 is to add an extra amount each month. So if you're determined to pay down your mortgage early, every little bit's going to help. Instead of saving to make one additional large payment once a year, you could pay an extra amount each month. So let's say you have a $100,000 30-year fixed-rate mortgage at 4.5%. If you add an extra $100 to your monthly payment, you would pay it off almost 9 years earlier and save over $26,000 in interest. That's likely what Jatori is asking about. Knowing how paying an extra $100 per month compares to making one additional mortgage payment per year depends on variables like your mortgage interest and your monthly payment. So, Jatori, I'm going to recommend that you go to finder.com and look for their mortgage calculator. It's called How Long to Repay My Mortgage Calculator, and I'm going to also have a link to it in the transcript for the show. That calculator is an excellent way to compare how much you would save in different scenarios. Plugging in your mortgage details and the extra payments allows you to know which option would save you the most money. So I don't have a clear answer for you here because I just don't have all the details, but you can easily find the answer by using an online mortgage calculator, okay? So I hope that will help. And, likewise, everyone listening can use online calculators to plug in different scenarios. Strategy number 4 is to apply your windfalls. While you can pay off your mortgage slowly and steadily by regularly paying the same amount each month, you don't have to be consistent. There's nothing wrong with sending one big payment when you can. If you get a bonus at work, a tax refund, an inheritance, a raise, put all of that toward your mortgage, and then you can return to making your regular monthly payments. And you're not even going to miss the money if you just put that windfall immediately into your mortgage. Again, only do this if you are a good candidate for paying off your mortgage early. Strategy number 5 is to round up your payments. If you don't have much extra money to pay off your mortgage early, you could just round up your monthly payments. For instance, if your payment is $970, why not just pay $1,000? Again, be sure to indicate that the extra $30 should go toward paying down your principal balance. Strategy number 6 is to set a target payoff date. If you have a specific date in mind that you want to be mortgage-free, like on your 50th birthday or when your kids are finally out of the house or when you retire, figure out how much extra it will take. Since the math can get complicated, using an online mortgage calculator to help crunch the numbers is going to be critical. Enter different amounts of extra payments until the final payoff date gets close to your target. Strategy number 7 is to get rid of PMI. PMI, or private mortgage insurance, is charged by lenders when you take out a conventional home loan and pay less than 20% down. However, after you pay down your mortgage to 80% of the original value, you can request a PMI cancellation. If you have a 30-year fixed-rate loan for $180,000, the PMI could be close to $100 per month. Getting rid of that premium frees up $100 to send to your mortgage principal instead. To sum up, I want to reiterate that if you don't have rock-solid finances with plenty of emergency savings, regular retirement contributions, and no debt besides your mortgage, you should not use any of these strategies to pay off your mortgage early. Instead, you want to shore up your finances and pay off your highest interest debts first, and that's probably not going to be your mortgage. So thanks again to Jatori. I hope this show points you in the right direction to handle your mortgage the right way for you. And before we go, I want to mention that I created a course about getting out of debt fast. In fact, it's called Get Out of Debt Fast, a proven plan to stay debt-free forever. If you go to lauradadams.com, you'll see it at the top of the website in the navigation under courses. It gives you the best strategies for 2022 for paying off your credit cards, your student loans, car loans, mortgages, and allows you to take control of every type of debt you have. So I want to encourage you to check it out. It gives you 2 hours of on-demand video with lots of resources, and it's broken down into specific modules, so you can just kind of go through the course whenever it's the right time for you. And of course, you can do it on your mobile phone, on your desktop, any way that's convenient. I really love courses that you can listen to and watch when you're on the go. So if you're struggling with debt or you've got questions about prioritizing your debt, this is the right course for you. Again, go to lauradadams.com, look at the courses at the top of the page, and you'll see Get Out of Debt Fast, a proven plan to stay debt-free forever. And one more tip, I want to invite you to connect with me on Twitter at Laura Adams or Instagram at Laura D. Adams. And again, Laura D. Adams is my personal site where you can use my contact page and learn more about my work, books, and money courses. That's all for now. I'll talk to you next week. Until then, here's to living a richer life. Money Girl is a quick and dirty tips podcast. It's audio engineered by Steve Rickyberg with editing by Adam Cecil. Our advertising operations specialist is Morgan Christensen. Our digital operations specialist is Holly Hutchins. Our marketing and publicity assistant is Davina Tomlin. And our intern is Brendan Pica.